First off, do you support the budget cuts or not?
No, I don't support the budget cuts. It's awful that they're attacking Penn State and public education broadly. Unfortunately, the budget cuts don't affect just Penn State. It's larger than just an issue about tuition. These budget cuts are part of larger attacks on public education and working and middle-class families. Governor Corbett is only one of many governors across the country to use the economic crisis as an attempt to balance the budget on the backs of the workers and the students.
Okay. Do you know what portion of Penn State's budget that this cut makes up?
Yeah, it's going to lower our state appropriations by over 50%.
I was talking about like the university's budget. Yeah.
It's going to lower it. The proposed levels to go from 8% to 4%.
So it's 4% of Penn State's budget this cut's going to make up.
Yeah. Next year, if the cuts go through, only 4% of our funding will come from the state, and it really threatens our land grant institution status. We need to keep the state in Penn State and keep public education so we don't become an elite institution that's more or less a private university.
Do you know if we're state-sponsored or state-run?
We're not. It's not exactly a state-sponsored. It's called a state-related university, along with Pitt, Temple, and Lincoln, as well as many other state Commonwealth universities, such as Kutztown or Slippery Rock.
All right. Do you believe higher education is a right or a privilege?
I think it's a right, and I think we need to fight to keep it so. Right now, it really seems like it's a privilege, and only privileged individuals are able to afford to go to such a great institution like Penn State. And if these cuts go through, it's only going to get worse. We need to keep higher education and public education a right, because it allows people to make their own choices when they go to universities about what it is they're going to do. And that's how we can fight to keep our economy strong and fight so that America can be the best it can be.
All right. If it's a right, then does a person's performance in high school, if you don't get a certain GPA or a certain score on the SATs, then people get turned away. If it's a right, should that be turned aside and everyone who wants to get in should get in? Or should
I think
still be exclusive?
that universities, there should be different levels. Obviously, not every university is the same as far as what it offers to the student body. And I think it's important that students make the university choices that are best for them, for what they want to do. But the important thing is they're not limited by cost, only by what's right for them and their abilities.
So can they be limited by their academic performance?
I think an individual's ability should play a role in admissions process, but where they apply shouldn't be about how much money. It shouldn't be if they can afford a university, only if they're qualified and if it's going to be a good fit for them.
All right, so if they're qualified academically, then they should be able to go wherever they want. Money shouldn't be an issue.
There should be funding sources available for the people who need them, whether it's coming from their own pocket if they're able to afford it, but they shouldn't be limited and limit themselves and hinder their own possibilities based on funding, because they're the ones that are going to be the future of this country.
So it's a right that should have some boundaries. So some.
There's a right to access. It's a right to the access of public education. To make sure that they're able to go where is appropriate for them, and not limited by the economic burdens that are faced upon them.
All right. Just one last question, if you don't mind answering this. What's your political affiliation? If you could put yourself kind of like in...
I don't really have one. I don't have a cohesive political plan. I just know... I believe that we need a fair economy that works for everyone. I don't have the solutions for it right now. There are many different funding sources available. I don't have a fleshed out political view. I believe in human rights. I think education is a right. I don't think it's a political issue.
All right, thank you.
Great.
Thanks.